This way. I'm still sick, as you can hear. I hate feeling this way. And remember from the last time, where in my video Fever Dreams, the one that I literally just posted, where I said that there's a time for, masking your sadness and there are times for being sad. I'm sad today. And I know that I have slowly been losing subscribers because I've just been so depressing over the last couple of weeks. But I need to talk myself down from the spiral I have so deeply dug myself into, like quite exquisitely. I don't think I've ever dug myself this deep. And I would like to talk myself down from that. And I don't know. I don't know who this is helping. I don't know, because I know everybody's like depression spiral is different to mine. I'm sorry, I'm itchy. Everybody's depression spiral is different to mine, and I need to, probably deal with this by myself, but I don't feel like doing that today because this makes it feel a bit easier for me to talk about if there's, something in the ether listening to me. While I just try to reconcile my place in the universe. I am having a full-on existential crisis, like from A to Z existential crisis. Like, I got up this morning, keyword got up, because I did not sleep, and I was just like, okay, I'm ready, just take me. Like, I don't know why I'm here. And that is not a manifestation of like any kind of suicidal intent. I don't have any of those. I am too terrified to do any of that anyways. It's just literally how I felt this morning, where I just did not want to be anymore. Like, I'm packing it in. Like, I ordered pizza yesterday, something I so rarely do because I cannot afford to be ordering food all the time. And I literally had pizza for dinner, breakfast this morning, and lunch. Like, I've packed it all in, basically. So I am so far down this spiral that I now need to talk myself out of it. And I feel like it's really important for me to do that. And maybe in some weird, really bizarre way that can help some of you out there. And I actually tweeted today saying that, like, one of the things that happened to me when I lost religion was that I find believing in things really, really difficult. I can't just adhere to things. Like, for example, meditation. I think meditation is complete bullshit. It's complete and utter bullshit. I don't find it helpful. It just makes me think, and then when I think, I spiral. That is my whole life. I've been thinking for 12 hours. I did not sleep last night, and that is why I'm here. If I do that for 5 minutes every day, that is 5 minutes of thinking that I do not want to do, that I'm going to be doing. And all that time is going to add up, and I'm going to be here again. So I don't adhere to mindfulness or meditation. I do believe in the power of doing nothing. I think that has a lot of benefits to it because it clears your mind. Like, when you're doing nothing, it's different to mindfulness, because you are actually sitting down to be mindful, which, I mean, if it works for you, it works for you. I'm not discouraging you from being mindful. I am just saying that it just feels very pretentious to me. It's the same. I think I very closely relate it to praying, and that like fucks me up in other ways. And I cannot, because I spent so much of my life praying, and it's fucking bullshit. It's all the same fucking bullshit. So I don't adhere to that. Like, I don't adhere to yoga as like a de-stress kind of thing. I adhere to it as an exercise. I think it's a very good way to like heal your body. But I also think that better ways of exercise are like a martial art or a contact sport, or, running and dancing and having fucking fun, instead of just staying on a mat and watching some lady on YouTube do some fucking stretches. Like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna be really salty. I'm please, if you're not here for this, just leave. If you want to unsubscribe, unsubscribe. If you want to dislike, dislike. If you want to leave me a fucking "why are you such a mean cunt today" comment, go for it, because I'm here for all of that today. I need the space to be negative today. And that's another thing. Like, anytime I tell anyone my problems, "Oh, you just need to be more positive." No, that's exactly what I don't need to be. That is exactly what I need to be the opposite of, because I'm positive 90% of the time. Like, I can fend off my depression for long enough to be positive most of the time. Show a good face at work, show a good face in public, show a good face in most places. But if I am upset, if I am genuinely fucking upset, like I cannot hold anything together, I need to be that for half a second. I need to be this hot mess that I've like dug myself into. I need to do that today, because if I do not do that, it's just going to get progressively worse beneath all the sadness. That's originally how this like thing with me started, right? Sorry. Didn't want to fucking cry today, but here we fucking are. I've already spent like so much of the morning crying. Okay. Breathing exercises are good. I believe in breathing exercises. I think the rest of it is garbage, but I believe in breathing exercises. I believe in exploring your feelings as they should be explored, and not by like shoving them down under false positivity. I believe in creating a space for yourself to just be angry or sad or feel whatever the fuck you're feeling. I think one of my most prominent feelings right now is just genuine confusion as to why I'm like this. Like, why am I fucking insane? I'm fucking insane. Like, I'm crazy. So how did this start? This started because my granddad passed away. Couldn't see him. There was too much fucking drama, and I didn't want to do that because I am a good person. Although I don't know why I always try to be. I don't know why I always try to be like the better person, because I always end up fucking regretting it. I always end up being like, if I was petty, I would feel better. I would feel better about myself. It was the same thing when my first boyfriend, who is currently my ex, my first boyfriend had broken up with me, and I behaved in a very mature way, and I just ended up regretting the fuck out of it because he was being so petty about everything. He had broken up with me over a fucking tattoo, and I was being the mature one about it and being like, look, if you want to go, go. Like, and I always feel as though I should have been more petty. I should have been the sass queen. I should have like told him what he needed to hear. And like, I don't know why I do this to myself, where I always try to be the bigger person, especially when I'm facing drama with people who are so much older than me, who have so much more experience than me, and they're being childish and petty as fuck. But me, I can't respond in kind. Like, I have to be the person that's like, oh, okay, like, I'm exiting the conversation. I'm not doing this here. Like, I don't know why I have to be that person. Because, and I don't say this often because I always get, like, dirty looks when I say this. But I genuinely believe it. Like, anytime I have an existential crisis, it's happened before, like, a few times. Not as bad as this, but, like, a few times. I subscribe to the notion that life is meaningless. I am very nihilistic in that way. I think that life, at the core of it, no matter what you do, how you do, where you do, you know, life is meaningless. You're here on this earth for a select number of years, and then you fucking die and nothing matters. You know? Like, I believe that. I believe that that is probably the closest truth that I've come to since leaving religion. That is the one thing that I can say that I believe for a certainty, that life is meaningless. And how do I come to that conclusion? Because it fucking is. Nothing is fucking fair. There is no afterlife. There is no judgment. Like, when I was a religious believer, this is another thing. People are like, oh, science has all the fucking answers. Science has everything that you can believe in. No, it doesn't, because I was a religious believer. I did not have a high education in science, which is why I'm pretty fucking bad at it. And you know what I did get really, really good at? Was worshipping a fucking fairy in the sky. That is what I got really good at, and all of that fucking experience in doing that and learning how to do that to a T, like learning how to wash myself before every fucking prayer, learning how to wash myself after I have after I have a period, learning how to eat with specific hands and sitting in specific places and doing all this really, really, really arbitrary bullshit. That is what I learned for 20 years of my life. That is what I dedicated my life to. And this is why. Because I was playing the long game. And the long game does not make any fucking sense when you have limited time. The long game makes sense when you are placing a limited amount of time against eternity. Okay, that makes fucking sense. If you are on this earth for a finite number of years, why would you play the long game? Why would you not carpe the fuck out of that DM? Like, why would you not just do whatever the fuck you want to do? That is where I am. This is, like, I've talked myself down from my, like, life is meaningless to, like, why am I good? You know, like, why do I want to be good? I've never held science dear. And one of the reasons I like science, like, I'm not a very scientific person. Like, I don't know my science very well. As you probably understood from my fever dreams video where I talked about climate change and was completely ignorant about it. I'm not completely, like, it's not completely lost on me what climate change is, but I'm just here. I'm just an innocent soul just trying to find simple solutions to big problems. Okay, that's my deal. And I'm a moron. Like, I will fully admit that I'm a moron when it comes to science. But also, the one thing that I like about science is that it doesn't have all the answers, and it's dedicated to finding all of them. That is what I like about it, and I don't think it should be used as a yardstick for how you live your life. Like, I have so much respect for people who, you know, dedicate themselves to one thing in science. Like, they dedicate themselves to, like, a specific beetle in the rainforest or a specific kind of fish in the ocean. Like, I have mad respect for those kind of people because they have found their calling in life. Me, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I don't know why I'm here. I don't know if there's any point to me doing it. Okay? And the reason why, like, the limitation of life gets to me, the reason why is because my mother passed away before she turned 40. And here I am, a 24-year-old woman, thinking, what if that's my lifespan? What if I fuck off at 40 or 30 or next year? What has my life amounted to? You know, what have I done? Like, what are my achievements? And, like, I can't fucking wrap my head around it. Like, I can't wrap my head around it. Like, I get, like, this is why I think that religious people should be able, like, I'm not an anti-theist. I think that religious people should be able to follow whatever religion they want, as long as they don't, like, force it down someone else's throat. This is why. Because I get it. Of course I get it. I was religious. I get it. I get it so hard because you're playing a game. You're playing a numbers game. You're playing this. If I do all this arbitrary bullshit in this life, I get eternity, like a good one, a decent one where I'm not burning in hell. Like I get that. I get that. But now take that out of the equation. Like take the afterlife part out of the equation. What are you left with? You are left with playing the long game, doing the arbitrary cha-cha slide all the fucking time, being a good person. Is it meaningful? Because you're not getting anything out of it at the end of your lifetime. And lifespan doesn't necessarily go up to 80. It go, for my mom it was 40. For my granddad it was in his 90s. Like how do you reconcile that? How do I believe in anything to make that make sense? Like, yes, why can't I just be a fucking sociopath and just do whatever the fuck I want for the next, let's say I have 20 years to live, for the next 20 years? Like, why not? Like, why can't I just do that? And I know the reason why. I'm not saying, I'm not losing it here. I'm not gonna turn into a sociopath tomorrow because I don't honestly, I don't have the heart for it. But I did want to come back to this science thing. Like even though I'm not religious, I'm still extremely superstitious. I'm still extremely superstitious. Like, I will give everything 3 chances before I'm like, fuck it, or I'm sticking to it. Like, everything for me has a buffer zone, I did it with my family after I left my dad's house. I gave them, like, if I got a gut feeling that they wanted me out, I'd give them 3 times. Like, the first time, okay, that's like, alright, I think they want me out. Second time, they want me out. Third time, okay, I'm fucking leaving. Like, I give everything 3 chances because I'm superstitious and I like to follow my urges. I like to follow my gut because that's honestly the only thing that's been keeping me alive. Like, I can't. I have a feeling. If I feel sick about something, I'm usually right. And like, I don't like tempting all that superstitious bullshit. Like, if I can avoid fucking selling my soul to the devil, I'll avoid it. Like, I'm not gonna tempt that shit. Are you crazy? If there's a haunted house, I'm not going in there. I don't believe in anything, but I'm not going in there. I read my horoscope regularly, but not because I believe in it, because it kind of gives me a weird sense of confidence, because it gives me all these vague adjectives that I can adhere to, and it makes me feel better about myself. And that's like, maybe that's a level of fucked up that I don't need in my brain, but also I don't see the harm in it, really, because I know it's bullshit. I just like being told that I'm an independent person that can, really kick ass and take names. And like, that's where I am. That's where I am in my life. Like, my belief system is just a jumble of, I'm gonna do my best to be a good person, but also live my life. This is such a mess of a video. I'm so sorry. I think the other thing that gets to me in terms of time is that all the time I waste. And when I say waste, I mean use. So like, if I could take a pill every day that would stop me from sleeping and give my body enough nourishment to make up for that sleep, I would do it. Doesn't matter how damaging it would be. I would do it, because to me, sleeping is a waste of time. If I could, the one reason why I really liked fasting as a Muslim is because I didn't have to eat. I didn't have to waste time feeding my body. It's wasted time. If I could take a pill every day that would nourish my body to a healthy level, no matter the damage to my, like, everything else, I would do it. Because I consider it, in my brain, when I'm here having an existential crisis, a waste of time. Because to me, I could die at any minute, and that time is fucking wasted. Every time I sit down and I fail, wasted time. And I know I don't fully believe that, because I think that all the mistakes I've made so far make me the person I am. Anytime someone asks me, if you went back in time, would you change anything about your life? I generally just say no, because I believe that every step I've taken has made me the person that I am, and even changing one of those things would change my character drastically. So, like, I know I don't believe that, but in my head, while having an existential crisis, don't fucking fuck up, because that is a waste of time. You have spent those minutes, and now you can never get them back. Like, yesterday, I'm still, like, furnishing my room, because I was not taught these things in a house, because I was raised to be a bride and a child bearer. So I was not told, like, the essentials of getting things for, like, my own place. I had to do, like, some internet research for that, and I recently got a fan that I had to assemble, and it took me a much longer time to do it because I don't have a toolbox. And I was like really, really, really beating myself up over the fact that I didn't have a toolbox. Like, that's how fucked it gets. It's not my fault that I don't have a toolbox. I was never taught to have a toolbox. It wasn't on my priority list is food, roof, clothes. That is it. That is my priority list. And then it's everything else. Like, I don't even have a fucking first aid kit. I have a bunch of plasters and some painkillers, and I think that will last me in, like, most cases. But I don't have some fucking gauze and sellotape, and I'm sure I will beat myself up for when I really hurt myself and I need a first aid kit. I know that. But am I going to go get a first aid kit? No. Because it's a waste of time. Because what if I never get hurt? Everything is a fucking waste of time, and that is where my brain is at. I feel like I've wasted so much of my life doing life things, and it's insane. It is fucking sane that I feel that way, even though I have to do those things. You know? What else fucks me up? Numbers fuck me up. Numbers fully fuck me up. If I am trying to lose weight, I cannot count calories. I cannot, like, record my weight every week because it fucks me up. Because unlike men who have it easy, as with everything in life, I'm sorry, I have nothing against men, I'm just angry. Women's weight doesn't just go down like this, it goes down like this. How fucking annoying is that? Like, I am trying to get from, let's say, I think the last time I checked I was like 160 something pounds. If I'm getting from 67 pounds and I want to get down to, let's say, 150, it's going to take me like a lot more time than a man will. Because it's going to go up and down, and that fucks me up. Anytime I look at my money and I think, I haven't saved anything, I'm a piece of shit. Like, I hate it. I hate it. It bothers me. And it like causes me to spiral when I'm constantly looking at it, which is why I can't constantly look at it, which is why it's perfect for me to, like, just check in on my monthly billing and figure out, like, oh, I need to spend less on this, I need to spend less on that. Because if I look at it all the time, it will drive me fucking insane. I can't do it. And this numbers thing, it comes back to my, like, number of years here. Like, even this video, is it worth the time? Probably, in terms of my mental health, but in terms of anything else, anything else that is productive in the world, is it helping all the different crises that are going on? No, it's not. Like, what is the purpose of this? besides me just getting my feelings out and talking to myself like a crazy person? Nothing. It's not doing anything, but I have to do it, and it bothers me that I have to do that. Like, is that crazy? Like, am I the only one who thinks these things? I hope not, because if it is, that might mean I have an actual problem. I will say that I feel significantly better after having talked this out to a camera, because anytime I start this with a person, they're like, oh, you should just like fucking meditate for 5 minutes a day. Fuck off. Like, fuck you. What do you mean I should meditate for 5 minutes? This is going to be my meditation, and it's not going to be for 5 minutes. It's going to be for a fucking hour, because I'm going to think about the expanse of the universe and how tiny my role in it is. It's essentially just being like an employee at Starbucks, but on like a scale of 1,000,000 times, billion times, trillion times more. I am insignificant. And you're going to tell me that I need to meditate for fuck off. That is not going to help me. It's just going to exacerbate my need to explain the fact that I have a reason to be alive. It's just going to exacerbate that to a level that I will not be able to handle within a few months. Like, I cannot. Or they'll tell me, oh, you just have to look at life more positively. Like, what? My mother died when I was, like, just turning 18. How am I supposed to be positive about that? I raised 5 of my fucking siblings. One of which tried to choke me out. Like, he literally tried to put me in a sleeper hold because I didn't respect him or whatever. We were having an argument over cereal or something, and he choked me out. How am I meant to be positive about that? Anytime I work with kids between the age of, like, let's say 5 and 12, I have like PTSD. Like, I can't work with them because of my previous... How am I supposed to be positive? How are you going to tell me that I need to look at my life in a more positive way? And the other thing that people do is when I try and talk about like my depression, or when I try to talk about like this, my existential crises, they're like, oh, compare yourself to someone who lives in Africa and doesn't have a roof over their head. Yes, like, I understand that is their suffering, but I cannot relate to that because I've never been that. Like, I've never been that destitute. And I'm, I don't know how to compare my life to that because I've never experienced that. So how are you going to tell me that I need to look at my life from that perspective? I can barely empathize with that, just barely. Like, for most of the days on this earth, anytime that I have been hungry, it has been out of choice. Because I had like a very minor eating disorder when I was still in my father's house. I've more or less always had a roof over my head, except for a couple of nights where I was homeless. Like, I cannot relate to that experience. How can you get me to compare my situation to that experience? It doesn't make any sense for you to do that. And religious people do, they're like so guilty of that. Religious people do that all the fucking time, and it's annoying. It is annoying. I need you to listen to the problems that I am having. Like, sometimes I don't want you to just spitball solutions at me because you don't have the solutions, first of all. And second of all, I just want to talk about it so that I can understand it. Not that so you can like crystal maze your way into a solution for me. That's not how this works. I'm here to talk shit about everything. So why am I good? Why do I always try to be the bigger person? First of all, I do think that it has to do with like an upbringing of being the most patient person in my family. Because when I was becoming religious, everyone was fucking against me. And when I was leaving religion, everyone was fucking against me. When my mother died, everyone was fucking against me. And when like anything happened in my house ever with my siblings, everyone was fucking against it. It's just This endless cycle of me having to fight my own battles without the support of anyone. And my dad, who is the oldest son in that family, like of my uncles and aunts and all his siblings, my dad was never helpful because he was a full-blown psycho, and he carpes the DM out of every fucking day. Like he just takes and takes and takes and feels nothing. And I am like, I know I just said, why can't I be like that? But I am genuinely terrified of becoming like that. And why am I genuinely terrified of becoming like that? Because I feel very, very gratified when I help people. It is the only thing that I can foreseeably see myself doing, is helping people, because it's the only way that I feel good. Like, I am not money driven. I will live in the gutter if I have to. As long as I am helping people, I'm fine. Like, I could not work a heartless job where I just make money. It puts me back into this spiral. Like, my purpose of life bullshit. It puts me back here. But as long as I am, like, giving... basically becoming very emotionally tired from time to time, as long as I'm giving something, I feel better. Like, I feel good about myself. And that is one of the reasons why I tend to go in that direction of just being generally good and accepting people and loving them, no matter how dumb and irritating and stupid and annoying they can be. Because let's be real, we fucking hate everyone. People are the worst sometimes. But at the same time, we love them and we care about them. And we really, really want to be around them all the time, because they mean so fucking much to us. I'm gonna cry. Sorry, I'm not trying to overplay whatever the fuck this is. I'm just trying to not cry, honestly. Like, I am still sick, so my throat and nose are already, like, clogged. And me periodically just crying because I'm in crisis is not helping that. It's not helping me talk. But my conclusion, I guess, like my finding meaning, I think I've talked about this before as well. I think that just because there is technically no meaning to life, just because that is the situation at the minute with most people everywhere, not most people, with everything is meaningless. Just because everything is meaningless and there is no meaning to life and everything is gonna end someday, that doesn't mean you can't find meaning. And that doesn't mean I haven't found meaning. I definitely have found meaning. I just don't know how to be happy. I think that's what it is. Because, and I've talked about this briefly before when I talked about love on this channel, I didn't know that existed. Like, I genuinely did not believe that love existed. And I think the other thing that I didn't really believe in was happiness. Like, I didn't really grasp a concept of being happy, like truly being satisfied in something. And now that I have it, like, I am happier now. Like, not in this video, but obviously, but like in general with my life, I am happier now than I ever was when I was religious. But I just can't let myself be happy. And I don't know why. It's almost uncomfortable for me to be happy. And I understand how fucked up that sounds. But it's true. Like, anytime I reach a level of happiness, like a thought just sort of zooms through my mind where I'm like, what if I did this and fucked it all up? Then I could start over. And I think that what my mind is telling me is that if I fuck this up, I can just like start again and reach that happiness again, which is stupid, because if you have happiness, why are you fucking with it? But I think that's where my mind goes. Like, You're so happy, but aren't you fucking bored? And I'm not, because I'm happy. Like, it's annoying. It's annoying is what I'm saying. Like, I constantly, like, have these little breaks of, like, why I'm here. And then I have to reassure myself like this. Religious people have it fucking easy, is all I'm saying. Because you know your purpose in life. It's to fucking please God and then go to heaven, right? That is the point. And that is what I was working towards for so long. And my reason for leaving wasn't scientific, so I can't find any, like, solace in that. I don't relate to a lot of atheists because of that, because I didn't leave for science. I left because it didn't make any fucking sense to me. The doctrine, the injustices, none of it made sense to me. That is why I left. And then, like, the fallout of that, nobody really teaches you how to deal with it besides, like, going to therapy, which, I mean, I'm half considering, because look at me. I'm a mess. I just made a video recording my existential crisis. Granted, it wasn't all night, like, I didn't do a 12-hour live stream, which would have been terrible, but that's what I just did, is I just recorded a video of me having my existential crisis and talking myself down from the pier that I made for myself. Like, nobody teaches you, nobody, like, tells you, oh, this is how you deal with that. This is how you come down from this. This is how you, like, live with yourself after you realize that everything is fucking meaningless. But I think this is the way. Like, what I've just done, I think this is the way. Is to, like, go from here to, like, here, and then just figure that out. And I think the other thing is that maybe I need to study philosophy. Maybe that's my route, because I'm not big into philosophy. Philosophy confuses me, like, severely confuses me. I like watching other people talk about philosophy. It makes perfect sense when other people talk about it. It's just when I read it, I get really confused. And like I said, I think that's partly down to the fact that I wasn't really raised in a house where education was, like, really important for me. Like, everybody really toted it for my brother, but for me, it was more like, oh, if you get an education, that's nice, but at the end of the day, you're just going to be a housewife that has, like, 50,000 kids for the man we marry you to. So I think a lot of it goes over my head. Also, I think I might be, I might have dyscalculia, but I don't know. I've never taken that test. But, you know, I already said that numbers fuck me up. I can't read fucking maps to save my life. So I think I might be in that, like, dyslexic learning difficulty group. And that's why it's all really off-putting for me to, like, sit down and read shit now more than it did before. But, like, I don't know. I think I need to listen to more, like, philosophical stuff and understand philosophy, because I feel like that would put my mind to ease a little bit. I've read a little bit of Nietzsche, which is probably not good, because that's all nihilism. And it's, as we have seen, nihilism doesn't help me, but it is something that I believe is true. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. If you were here with me for all of this video, you're a true fan. You're a real one. If you hated this, I completely get it. I'm, like, half considering not even posting this, but I do genuinely feel like 1,000 times better. Like, I actually feel like there's a point to me going outside and returning my library book. Like, I feel it. Even though, from my description of what that is, that would be a waste of time. I feel like I could do that and not feel too shit about it, you know? Sorry if I was a bit too angry in this video, if I was ranting a bit too much, if I swore too much. I know there's a lot of people in my audience that don't like that. But, you know, thanks for hanging around and caring about me, and giving me positive energy, even though, like, I don't really believe in that. I just need something to hold on to when I'm, like, falling apart. But yeah, thank you for that. And just being, you know, my replacement family, because my actual family is fucking garbage sometimes. But yeah, thank you, and I will continue to recover. I am determined to continue to recover, so, you know, rest assured I will. But, you know, I needed to do this. I really, really needed to sit down and just yell at the camera for a little bit about how life is so fucking annoying. I'm sorry if I came across as just really ungrateful. I'm not trying to be. It's just been difficult. It's just been really difficult. So yeah, I will see you in the next one. I actually wrote a poem today, and I don't know if I'm going to recite it for you on camera today. But I would like to, so if you would like that, please, you know, sound off, let me know. And if that's what you want, I'll probably see you soon. If not, then I will see you later in the week. But thank you, and goodbye.